All right, I'm Spencer Wells, and this is my third business model canvas presentation on Brassington and Stark's Generis. So the problem that this company is trying to solve is that people want to get healthier, but they just don't know where to start. If you go online and look for solutions, there's thousands of often conflicting resources and guides and get fit quick plans and diets, but there's just not enough time or money to try all of these solutions, and not everything works for everybody. So people end up wasting time and money trying these diets and fitness plans and end up unsatisfied and confused because it's just not working. So Generis hopes to provide a better solution by analyzing DNA testing results to determine what is healthy for a given person. Because as it turns out, you can use data from your genetics, from your genes, to see what substances or nutrients your body burns more efficiently than others. And from this data, you can extrapolate what kinds of food would be best for you to eat, or whether exercise is effective for you, what kinds of exercise are best. And so it can compile all of this nutritional and exercise data and then match it up with existing products and existing workout routines. And then it can make specific recommendations to the user about how they can get healthier. And it can take all this information and display it in an easy to use and simple app that people can just check on their phone to get all the personalized information they need. To summarize this solution with the unique value proposition, we say that Generis leverages DNA analysis to create an app with accurate and easy to apply health recommendations. And it's pretty self-explanatory from what's already been said, but who is Generis targeting with this? They're targeting anybody who is unhappy with their current health and wants to get better, but especially people that have tried to get better health but haven't found solutions that work for them and don't have the time or money to invest in trainers or nutritionists or the expensive solutions that people usually take in order to get personalized guidance. This app offers a cost-friendly alternative to get some of the same personalized effects as you would expect from those more expensive options. Now, notably, as mentioned in the talk, there is a portion of the potential customer base that is excluded off the bat. And that's those group of people that are not willing to get their DNA tested and shared. Generis handles all DNA data securely with the necessary encryption, but the reality is there exists no security that is completely airtight, and there's always a risk of a leak or data falling into the hands of people that you don't want it to. So Generis is only serving people that are willing to take this risk or are comfortable with their DNA potentially being shared. Although important to note, Generis is not actively sharing the DNA data with any unwanted parties. So what channels is Generis going through to advertise their app? So this is a bit of a shortcoming for the company so far, because as described in the talk, they're basically relying on App Store advertising. That is, once they put their app in the App Store based on the traffic it gets recommended to certain people, they naturally see it, and that leads them to download it. What they're not doing is investing a significant amount into external advertising, getting their app brand out into the wild, out on different platforms, perhaps reviewed by influencers or other figures that could get some popularity towards the app. Now, it's a bit unclear what sorts of advertising they plan to do in the future, but presumably as they continue to scale, if they find success with the small customer base that they already have, they should look into ramping up their advertising and marketing efforts so as to expand the total user base of the app. So if they're not paying for advertising, what is the company actually paying for to host their app? Well, I'd imagine that the brunt of costs comes from the research that has to be done on the genetics to provide the necessary science to back the app. Now, the professor working on this is working through Notre Dame, so I assume all the research is funded by either the university or grants they have received, and they're able to go through the academic scientific research process, obtaining funding through those channels, performing the research, and then applying the results to the app without the need for additional external funding. Additionally, they have to pay for the cost to host the website. They've invested limited amounts into specific infographics and branding for their App Store page. Notably, they do not actually perform any DNA testing. They receive DNA tests from places like 23andMe, but they're not paying for any of these tests to be performed. So that significantly cuts down costs for the company. On the flip side, what revenue is the company receiving? Well, unfortunately, they're only ever receiving a one-time payment of $20 for the user to get the app. They also talked about a subscription model, but it's unclear when they're going to roll this out. They could also get more money through sponsorships with certain products and brands. So with these costs and revenue in mind, what boils down to the key metrics for these companies? I think it is the number of clients they have, obviously, just the number of users of the app, the number of brands that are willing to partner with them, because down the line, each brand that partners with them is a potential sponsorship and a potential source of revenue. The number of affiliated purchases that users of the app are making, because this is indicative of the user base that uses the app, how much is converted into additional sales. And then finally, more of an abstract metric, but what are the success stories? How many people are noticing health benefits? How many people think the app is truly effective? Finally, what is the unfair advantage that sets Generous apart? From their talk, I gather that it's mainly the research and quality of results. They have cutting edge research. They have professors at Notre Dame getting the results, the most accurate results of any related platform, they claim. And with those results, they can provide the best personalized and comprehensive data. Moving on to the value proposition canvas. The job to be done here is finding ways to improve people's health and lifestyle. A lot of the pains that people normally experience is that they spend lots of time and money trying different things that don't necessarily work, ending up wasting on ineffective solutions, and as a result, feeling lost, confused, frustrated, and less likely to continue trying to improve their health in the future. On the gain side, if people are actually able to find ways to improve their health, they, 1, feel better, they, 2, avoid illnesses and conditions that significantly degrade their quality of life, and if they can find the ways to feel healthy efficiently, they know what to devote time and effort towards. So the product and service to address these pains and gains is the DNA analysis service, the app itself that collects DNA test results, aggregates them with the scientific data, and then shows the results and guidance based on those scientific data. By providing this app to people, it is relieving a series of pains. It tells you what won't work in advance so you can avoid it without having to try and fail. It stops you from having to browse through endless health resources, website after website, of unjustified, unproven explanations for what will work for you. And finally, no more money wasted on these solutions just because you hope something will work and you're desperate to improve your health. On the flip side, there are many gains created from this. When you get an efficient and actionable plan to start improving your life and feel better, you know and feel motivated that what you do will have an impact in your life. So you're much more likely to take the effort, invest in what you actually need to invest in, and then improve your life for the better.